We are the Lab Doctors. I'm Amanda.
I'm Dorothy.
And I'm Zhao Yong.
We are biomedical researchers who realized we still have a lot to learn about science.
So why not join us on this quest?
Hey guys, welcome back. On this Today We Discuss episode, we were wondering about hand hygiene and hand sanitizers. So for Today We Discuss episodes, we already did our homework, and now here's what we found out.
Yeah, so we wanted to talk about hand hygiene because we were interested in the advisories on hand washing versus hand sanitizers at the very beginning of the pandemic. And I guess it's also a good time to remind everyone the importance of hand hygiene moving forward in the pandemic. Yeah, right? So to give a bit of a background, I guess we should first discuss what exactly are hand sanitizers and what's the difference between alcohol-based and non-alcohol-based hand sanitizers.
Okay, so what does alcohol in hand sanitizer do? So alcohol actually breaks down the outer coating of the bacteria or virus, which leads to their destruction. So what about alcohol-free sanitizers? They also usually contain active compounds that are shown to have antimicrobial properties. So one of the most common active ingredients is this compound called benzalkonium chloride, which also destroys the bacteria and virus by disrupting their outer coating.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So which one is better then?
So the answer is it depends, as with most of science. If the question is which one is more effective against the novel coronavirus, the simple answer according to the CDC in the US is alcohol-based hand sanitizers, with the caveat that this should be the alcohol content should be above 60%.
Why?
So the recommendation actually comes from, is mainly because these types of hand sanitizer has been shown to be effective against SARS-CoV-2. However, the CDC also mentions that if you were to use alcohol-free sanitizers, only use the one that contains benzalkonium chloride, which is the active ingredient I mentioned previously.
Yeah. So what exactly is the difference between alcohol-based and non-alcohol-based? Like, is there any particular reasons why I should use non-alcohol-based? Because if alcohol is the one that confirmed can kill.
But maybe some people don't like alcohol because it's drying to the hands.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, right.
As in, like, because evaporation faster, so it dries out your hands. So I guess, apparently alcohol is better with alcohol, but like if there isn't such an option, it's fine as well.
Oh.
Yeah, so for alcohol-free sanitizers, like I said, the CDC only recommends the one with that compound that I mentioned just now.
Yeah,
But benzalkonium chloride.
Confidence.
Yeah, so but then the thing about alcohol is more of the different variants of alcohol are all considered to be effective as long as it's above the 60%.
Oh.
Yeah, and fun fact, like for labs, we always use 70% alcohol.
Yeah, 70%.
So it's safe.
Yeah, so back to the topic about the drying effect of alcohol. So because people know that people are trying to capitalize on that you should use alcohol sanitizers, but people complain that, it's drying. So manufacturers have actually added compounds that make it less harsh on your skin. Yeah, so kind of moisturize and it just protects the skin from alcohol's drying effect. So which one is better? Depends on what you mean by better.
I mean, they both work lah, so...
I mean, for me, because I'm a bit more scared, I'll just use the alcohol-based ones.
Same.
I don't really care about my skin health, which I guess in my youth is fine.
Just apply more moisturizer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So then what about like cleaning your hands with hand sanitizer after eating oily food?
So hand sanitizer actually just kills the germs, but it doesn't clean your hands. So alcohol-based hand sanitizer does not remove dirt and are less effective in killing virus and bacteria if the hands are soiled. So example, say your hands are muddy or oily. When you add sanitizer, it kind of makes your hands more disgusting.
Wait, do you say muddy or money?
Muddy.
Muddy. I heard money and I'm like, money's dirty, but okay.
Oh yeah, money is quite
very dirty.
Yeah. So example, if there's some dirt on your hands and you put sanitizer on it, it kind of just makes it more black and disgusting.
Yeah.
It doesn't remove it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing about hand sanitizers. When your hands are too oily or too soiled, the hand sanitizer can't remove that. It just kills the germs. But then if you have all that residue on your hands, it might not be effective at cleaning your hands.
But I mean, it's better than nothing. Is it better than not using hand sanitizers at all?
I think you should wipe. You should at least wipe
Wipe
it
it.
if you don't have access to running water and soap. If you use the hand sanitizer, at least wipe off the grime and the residue. Because
Right.
the effectiveness of hand sanitizers at the end of the day boils down to how much visible dirt or grease is present on your hands. Yeah.
Then after that, can you eat the hand sanitizer? I mean, like, it's left on your hands, right?
Like pour the hand
is it
sanitizer into your mouth.
like there's residue? Is it safe to eat?
Yeah, so hand sanitizer can actually be toxic when ingested because it can irritate the lining of your throat and cause intestinal issues. So we should be careful when using hand sanitizers before eating. So I think most people agree that the time taken for the alcohol content to completely evaporate is approximately 15 to 30 seconds. But this is assuming that you have proper hand sanitizing techniques.
So that's with the alcohol-based one, right? But what about the
Benzalkonium chloride.
The alcohol-free sanitizers, I think you can
Yes.
just say.
Yes. Is that safe?
Okay, so it's also a compound that
Yeah.
will kill bacteria
Yeah.
and viruses, right? So you should also try not to ingest that.
That makes sense.
But how long it takes to dry and everything, that's not much is known about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess the rule of thumb is just make sure that your hands are fully dry before you start
Actually
eating.
eat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So besides the alcohol and the compounds in the alcohol-free sanitizers, some sanitizers also may contain chemicals and occasionally fragrances. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
realized some sanitizers
Yeah.
smell
Yeah, yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all these things are chemicals that could be harmful to you because it's not meant for you to eat. It's meant for you to use externally.
Yeah.
So therefore, just to be safe and be super above board, you just make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's safe, but make sure you have the correct practices.
But I mean, if you ingest a bit,
Should be fine.
snitch.
I mean, you don't do it every.
Yeah, it's fine. But more dangerous for children, apparently. I guess maybe
Makes
their
sense.
bodies are smaller.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
adults, it doesn't really matter usually. You
Yeah.
can safely.
And I mean, like, children stick their fingers into their mouth compared to adults.
drinking hand sanitizer is a warning. So
Oh,
they say,
right.
make sure your children don't drink hand sanitizer.
I mean, I've heard of people drinking the alcohol that we use in labs, so not surprising that
That's
people might
crazy.
drink alcohol. I mean, might drink sanitizers.
Yeah, so I guess at the end of the day, the best advice is to still wash your hands properly before eating because sanitizers have so many things that are linked to them.
Oh, you mean like really physically washing with
Yes,
hand
at
soap?
a sink with soap.
So when you wash your hands with soap and water, these actually, you're working the soap into a lather, which
Yeah.
is like bubbles, right?
Yeah.
And these actually trap your germs and chemicals from your hands. So, of course, when you wet your hands
Yeah.
before applying the soap, it helps to create better lather and would wash your hands more effectively. So these lather cause pockets called cells. Apparently, I thought it was always
micelles?
pronounced as micelles. I always thought
Myself?
either way. I thought it was pronounced as micellis.
So they're not saying MY space CELLS for everyone listening. They are saying MICELLES. Myself.
Right. So micelles, new word, traps these germs and harmful chemicals and dirt from your hand. And according to the CDC, you should wash your hands by scrubbing it for 20 seconds. So if you heard of the happy birthday song, just sing the happy birthday song. And
Twice? Right? Is it?
Depends how fast you sing it.
Yeah.
right, please sing it the normal tempo.
Well, I need to sing it twice.
Oh yeah, twice. And also apparently the physical action of just rubbing your hands together also helps to destroy and kill the germs.
Mechanically.
Yeah, mechanical
Oh.
force. So I didn't know that. Like just do it vigorously.
Yeah.
And
I guess
maybe-
it also scrapes it off the surface of
Yeah.
your skin.
yeah, I mean if you think of just wiping this thing, then
okay.
the virus or bacteria just fly away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's go into, nowadays there's different kinds of soap, right? There's the liquid soap and then there's the foam soap. So Zhang Yong asked this very interesting question, like whether foam soaps are they as effective as liquid soap? And I've never thought of this at all.
I mean, can I have a prediction?
Sure.
I think the foam soaps, I mean, based on what you said, the lather and the whole thing. So foam technically is already the lather, right? That is already made. So I think it should be more effective.
Yeah, that's what I
Not
think
too
also
sure.
because it already combines water.
Yeah. So it itself should be more effective. But
Let's
tell
hear
us
the
more.
real answer.
Let's hear the research paper. So just to clarify, the foam soaps are the one, I think they came from Japan. I don't know, kire.
Yeah. Kiri, right?
Yeah.
Then the foam will come out cause they have a special pump that makes the liquid soap into a foam form when it comes out. So according to one study, I think not many people have actually really compared these two kinds of soap. This study found that with the foam soap, the bacterial colony count went down by about 1/3. But for liquid soap, it dropped by more than half.
Wow.
So this
so
study, it's saying that liquid soap is better.
Oh, okay.
So why? They said because foam soap generally has less soap. In terms of let's say you do one single pump, then the foam would have, just less soap because they already created the lather for you.
Yeah. So it's more water content than a liquid based soap.
Yeah. And then for the liquid soap, because you build up the lather, it might actually be better in terms of helping you trap all the thing. You get what I mean? However, as to all research, there's always limitations.
Yeah.
So some of the confounding variables are you can adjust the amount of soap per pump in real life, right? You can just pump more foam soap, maybe it will work. And also importantly would be the ingredients. So apparently for foam, what this study did is they took the foam soap versus the liquid soap from the same company. But this company, they created the soaps differently. So the liquid soap had additional ingredients, and therefore
Is it the Ben la 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 thing?
the what?
The Ben
No, I don't think so. It's for soaps. The main ingredients like sodium lauryl sulfate or something like
the
that.
SLS.
SLS, and then they have a lot of other things which you have to ask. I think a chemist who designs soap. But not us. But yeah, so if there's additional ingredients, maybe that's why it caused the bacterial count to be reduced more. And also, for this study, they only washed their hands with soap for 6 seconds. I do not know why.
6 seconds?
Yeah. Why? They did the experimental design so nicely, and then they just do it for 6 seconds when the CDC recommends 20 seconds. So don't ask me why they decided on 6 seconds. But some people say that maybe that's quite little time for the soap to actually have impact.
Yeah.
So maybe the study is not that reliable. But generally, I think foam soaps are more environmentally friendly because we will use less, right? You will feel that a lot has come out already.
Yeah. That's
So you won't want to pump more, or you won't over pump as compared to a liquid soap. You get what I mean? So they are more environmentally friendly, they are cheaper, more sustainable, more efficient apparently.
Actually, I have a question about that. So if there's less soap in the bottle or the container, isn't that less environmentally friendly because there's more plastic that is being used?
Wouldn't there be the same amount of soap? Because in the bottle it's still liquid soap, but what it pumps out
it's the
is
pump
lather.
that's different.
So you're using less soap per pump.
Yeah.
But it's generally less viscous, right?
I have no idea actually.
Oh yeah, actually I have no idea. I've never done a deep dive. I was just thinking the plastic.
I just
around
use
it.
whatever soap is available in the toilet.
Same. I don't know why I'm so worried about this.
I guess 20 seconds it's still gonna be beneficial, right?
Yeah.
But my thoughts, I would think based on this study alone, they are saying that liquid soap is better. I mean, it's the conventional way.
Yeah.
So I think for general public use, you can use foam soaps, it's fine.
Yeah.
But
It should be enough to
yeah, it will be enough. But for healthcare, maybe they should just go back to liquid soap just in case.
Which they do, right?
Yeah.
Don't they
pretty
use
sure.
a special type of sand soap? I have no idea what.
Don't we in the lab as well? Our hand soap is not
Are we
the normal
healthcare
hand soap.
workers? Are we frontline?
I mean, we're not, but I'm pretty sure that what they use in the hospitals are similar to what we use in the lab.
right.
Is
So
what I
just
mean.
liquid soap.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
liquid soap.
Okay. You know how some people, when they wash their hands, they don't even use soap? I mean, soap might not be available in the toilets.
Yeah.
And to really clean your hands properly, we should always use soap. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The water probably wouldn't do much to the bacteria or whatever that's
I
on
mean,
our
it still
hands.
does something. They're not washing your hands.
Yeah, they're not washing your hands, exactly.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
But to really optimize it is with hand soap 20 seconds, right? Yeah.
And scrubbing properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think even though we've maybe answered it, I think we should still ask the question, which one is better, hand washing or hand sanitizer?
Yeah, which was the question that sparked us off, right?
Yeah.
Why is the advisory to use hand washing when you can, but only sanitizers when hand washing stations are not readily available? So I kind of looked into this, and it's mostly due to the efficiency of hand washing itself. So firstly, like Dorothy mentioned just now, the whole act of scrubbing our hands with soap and the whole idea of the lather actually increases the surface area of the soap that's in contact with our hands.
Yeah.
And so even when we wash our hands in a very anyhow way, it's still more effective than using sanitizers in an anyhow way, because we lazy, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but of course, when you are washing our hands, we should also try not to be too tough on our hands, because that might introduce minor cracks that actually let germs into our body. So we should always take note of that. So don't be too harsh on your hands, but also don't be too gentle. The Goldilocks zone.
The Goldilocks zone, yes.
Yeah. Then the other thing would be, in general, hand sanitizers may not be efficient because we don't know how much sanitizers to put on our hands. You know, we don't want to put too much until when we eat afterwards, we get poisoning from the hand sanitizers. But we also don't want to put too little to kill, and that would be too ineffective to kill.
So it's another Goldilocks zone.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I guess it's also the fact that nowadays sanitizers come in the pocket sizes. And if we squeeze a lot, we kind of feel like, oh, we're wasting so much of the sanitizer.
Yeah.
So you
Cheapskates
wanna
like me.
you wanna save as much as possible. So maybe you just don't use as much. But actually, that isn't very effective. So yeah, in general, it's hard for us as humans to estimate how much sanitizers would effectively kill the germs on our hands.
Yeah.
So the advisory is hand washing. Sanitizers also maybe require more time to kill the bacteria compared to hand washing.
As in how much time it's in contact, I
Yeah,
guess, right?
exactly. Yeah, and again, how much time it's in contact depends on how much you put on your hands, and so we go back to the whole issue of estimation.
Yeah.
And lastly, sanitizers actually, I mean, aside from bacteria, there can also be many other harmful things that our hands come into contact with, like pesticides or, you know, other heavy metals. Maybe we are dealing with
Right.
stuff that have grease, that have oil, that have
Yeah.
all these other different types of contaminants that sanitizers don't remove, because what sanitizers do is to clean your hands. Clean your hands from germs, sorry. Not from all these other chemical based
Grease and stuff like
stuff.
that.
Yeah. So they remove biological contaminants such as germs very well, but chemical contaminants like pesticides are a lot harder to remove. And in general, hand washing is much better because soaps are capable of doing that. So that's why in general, wash your hands if you can, but if you can't, use sanitizers. Yeah.
Can I end off with a song?
I think I know where this is going.
We'd like to credit PCK from the previous SARS.
Yeah,
Wash your hands whenever you can. Wash with soap, then at least got hope.
exactly.
Yes.
I think that summarizes
Completely
very nicely.
endorse.
Yeah.
Hope you learned something.
So as usual, follow us at The Lab Doctors on Instagram and Twitter.
You can also find us on Spotify and YouTube.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, just leave us a comment on YouTube, or you can even DM us on Instagram or email us at thelabdoctors@gmail.com.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Isn't it pronounced leather?
Huh?